good afternoon. So I will present the work that we do on the Nordic branch of the MetaShare infrastructure. And our project includes partners from all the Nordic and Baltic countries. And our goal and aim is to contribute in establishing this pan-European infrastructure for open linguistic resources, so that those who have resources can easily share those resources, and those who need those resources for research, for development, for other kind of use, can find a single place where to find these, download and benefit from them. And in our project we participate in all the horizontal activities across the MetaNet family of the projects. We described the national landscape in the language white papers. We collect resources, identify those resources, align them, ensure interoperability of these resources, and of course provide them in and run MetaShare nodes to make these resources accessible and downloadable. We collaborate in the network with other projects in several activities, what I will describe in a few words later. And yeah, of course, important part is to mobilize national, regional actors, institutions, what create resources, institutions, what fund these activities, and also politicians, but always are aware about the importance of the work that we are doing. And partner institutions in the project are representing key players in language technology, language resource field in respective countries and beyond. It's University of Copenhagen in Denmark, University of Tartu in Estonia, University of Bergen in Norway, Helsinki in Finland, University of Iceland in Iceland, Institute of Lithuanian Language in Lithuania, and University of Gothenburg in Sweden. And the particular difference of our project is that it's coordinated not by university, but by the company Tilde that I represent, so that helps us to care that the work that we are doing is really serving the needs of the industry. And of course, this is not just about institutions, but mostly about the people who are actually enthusiasts and patriots of the work that they are doing. Particular focus of our project is it comes from our countries and languages. All our languages are relatively small in number of speakers, less than 10 million speakers. And therefore some of these languages have only a few million speakers, like my native Latvian, only 1.5 million native language speakers. And this is the reason why we do have a very limited number of resources, and why we urgently need those resources and have to make those existing resources available and identify gaps. And also be inventive in finding automated and semi-automated methods to create new resources so needed for language technology development. And there are a number of specific horizontal actions that we focus on, taking into account the particular competencies of partner institutions. Like in WordNets, University of Copenhagen leads the work on aligning monolingual WordNets and providing researchers and practitioners the view on comparative view on the synsets in different languages. And similar work on tree banks is led by the University of Bergen, integrating tree banking data on a uniform platform and linking across languages. And on terminology, we consolidate terminology not only across the languages of our project, but beyond, providing single access to multilingual terminology in multiple domains. And we also specifically look on those gaps identified by so-called BLARC notion, basic language resource kit, that is needed for every language, and there are still major gaps what we facilitate in filling. We document and elaborate methodologies and expertise of partners in the semi-automated methods, and we also benefit from cooperation with another infrastructure activity, Clarin, and we see the great benefit of synergy between these two networks. One is Clarin is targeting researchers in social sciences. We are targeting practitioners and industry, but these are mostly the same language resources that are needed for both, and you can benefit from working together. You can see the first language white papers and this is Springer booth here at the Metaforum exhibition. This was a major work by all the project partners, and actually this was very valuable to present the language situation to the people that are outside our field, that are not aware about the problems and challenges and also opportunities that we face. And especially useful was exercise to compare situation between languages, and we can see that most of the languages are in the cluster of weak support and availability of language resources and tools what are needed. And also we did a scoring exercise and made the graphs, and this is a very convincing way to say to politicians, look to our neighbors, their graphs are higher than ours, we have to do something because our language is as important as the language of our neighbors. And these arguments work quite well. We did a work on identifying what's available, not only in partner institutions, but in other research centers around our countries, and identified more than 150 language resources, and from those resources managed to include in the first batch already 67, and now it's ongoing work to add new resources, and I just tonight got a report that we already have 112 resources available and shared on the latest version of the MetaShare platform. And many other resources are in the pipeline. And here are some highlights. I told you about our work on WordNets, and this is an example how you can look on the differences. The same word animal in Danish and Finnish, and this is a graphical visual representation of these synsets, and these are quite different, and it's very interesting food for thought to researchers and also to practitioners to see how good is the data or how different are languages and concepts.
1 minute.
For tree banks, you need tools. We provide online services how to work with these tree banks and how to align them across languages. And on terminology, we particularly work on the concept of language resource specific nodes as part of the MetaShare that beyond provide the services beyond the basic services of metadata and resource downloading. You can work on representation of data and going into entries, and providing assistance for data providers how to use the right licensing. And just about sustainability, I'm happy that a number of partners, already 4 of them, committed to participate in these activities beyond the end of the project for at least 2 years, running and hosting MetaShare nodes, providing resources, support to users, and also some of them are ready and willing to participate in development of MetaShare software. Thank you very much.